glad that we're all here. So, come to seated, a nice cross-legged position. Or you can be up on your knees if it feels better, or if neither of those feel good, you can even have your legs extended out in front of you. But come to a cross-legged position if that's the best thing. And imagine yourself sitting nice and tall. That as each breath you take in, the crown of your head gets higher, you get a little bit taller. And every time you breathe out, those floating ribs at the very bottom of your rib cage start to contract in just the tiniest bit, pulling your belly button and your abs and everything in with you. Take another deep breath in, growing taller. And breath out. Draw your ribs down and pull your belly button towards the middle of your spine. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. If it feels okay, close your eyes for a minute. And we're going to walk through some slow and measured breathing. A lot of times, my favorite way to start class is to say, slowing down your breath will slow down your thoughts and slow down your mind, which is sometimes really what we need most of all. So, take a deep breath in for 4 counts. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top. 4, 3, 2, 1. And breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. Let it out. 2, 3, 4. One more time. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold it. 2, 3, 4. And exhale. 2, 3, 4. Your eyes were closed. Go ahead and open them up. Let your breathing settle in back to a normal state. But be mindful about keeping your breath slow and controlled so that you can slow down your thoughts. When you slow down your breath, you send the message to your body that everything's okay, and your brain will start to follow suit. Take a big inhale. Lift your arms up and overhead. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, and lean over to your right. I'm mirroring you tonight, so you'll follow me as if you're looking in the mirror. Really start to stack your left shoulder on top of your right, gazing up underneath your armpit at the ceiling. Inhale, lift back up to center. Switch the clasp of your hands and lean the opposite direction. Now stacking your right shoulder on top of your left. Look over, gaze up at the ceiling. Inhale, back up to center. Drop your arms down by your sides, and we're going to come right over onto our hands and our knees in a tabletop position. So your shoulders are stacked right over your wrists, your hips right over your knees, but pay attention to what's happening in your hands. Really feel like you're pressing down through all 4 corners of your hands, not just dumping into your wrist crease. So press through all 4 corners of your hands, and we're going to take an inhale as we come into cow. So drop your belly, lift your tailbone and the crown of your head up towards the ceiling, and draw your shoulder blades together and down your back. Press your shoelaces into the ground. Breathe in. Breathe out. Round your spine. Press your shoulder blades apart. Tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone. Exhale, cow. Inhale, back to cat. Cow, sorry. And exhale to cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Pause right here. Bring yourself to neutral. So the crown of your head is reaching towards the front of the room. Your tailbone is reaching towards the back of the room. Take a breath in. And take a breath out. Bring your toes together and your knees wide to the edges of your mat and sink your hips all the way back to your toes. Come into child's pose. Let your forehead come all the way down to your mat. Reach your fingertips forward. Lift yourself up just a little bit, kind of halfway. Come back into a neutral tabletop position. Take your right arm and send your fingertips all the way up towards the ceiling. Now, as you exhale, bring your right arm underneath your left armpit. Set your right ear down on your mat. And you can stay just like this with your left hand planted in front of your face. Or you can pick it up towards the ceiling and drape it over your back. Stay here for a breath in. And a breath out. Bring your left hand back up to the ceiling or plant it back in front of your face. Unwind your right hand one more time all the way up to the ceiling and exhale. Set it back down on your mat. Now take your left hand, same thing. Lift it all the way up. And exhale, thread it underneath your armpit. Set your left ear on the mat. Your right arm goes up to the ceiling and maybe it drapes over your back. Take a breath in here. And a breath out if it's not already there. Plant your right hand in front of your face. Unwind. Left arm reaches back up towards the ceiling. And plant back down your back into your tabletop position. Tuck your toes and lift your knees up off the ground just an inch or two. So you're hovering here. This will start to fire up all those muscles in your body, fire up all those muscles in your core. This little tiny movement requires a lot of your body. One more breath in. And breath out, downward facing dog. Our first downward dog of the practice. So see how yours feels today. Your feet are about hip distance apart. Your heels are reaching to the ground. Maybe they reach to the ground. Mine don't quite get there. Your hands are shoulder distance apart. You're pressing your chest through so that your ears are coming through between your biceps. And you're making this big upside down V shape. Knees bent, totally fine. Knees straight, that's great, but I don't have a prize for you if you have straight knees. So be gentle with yourself. Let yourself do what your body needs. Maybe bend one knee then the other. Pedal it out a little bit. I always like to peek underneath one armpit, peek underneath the other armpit. From here, pick up your right foot and step in between your hands. Drop your right knee down to the earth. You can leave your toe tucked or untucked. And lift your chest up, letting your hips sink down. Your knees stacked right over your ankle. Your arms are lifted. Breathe in. And breathe out. Drop your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers and press that fist down towards the earth, really stretching your collarbones nice and open. Lift your chin ever so slightly. And breathe out. Plant your hands back around your foot. Tuck your back toe. Lift up your back knee and come to downward facing dog again. Breath in. And breath out. Pick up your other foot, whichever one you did the first time. Opposite, step in between your hands. Drop your back knee. You can untuck your back toe. Inhale, lift your chest up. Let your hips start to settle in and feel nice and heavy. Drop your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers and send that fist down towards the earth, opening across your chest, but don't let these bottom ribs just pop right out. Still keep everything controlled and lifted. You're opening across your collarbones without losing the engagement in your core. Lift your chin. And exhale, plant your hands around your feet, tuck your back toe, lift your back knee, step back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, and breathe out. Tiptoe your feet, bent legs or straight legs, all the way up to meet your hands at the top of your mat. Once you arrive there, grab opposite elbows, sway back and forth. Let your head really release. Let it relax all the way down. Crown of your head pointing down at the mat. Release your hands down. And we're going to roll all the way up to standing. Really slow. Letting your vertebrae stack on top of each other, one vertebrae at a time. Your head comes to the top at the very last minute. As you exhale, relax your shoulders down. Turn your palms so they're facing me, thumbs pointing out. Inhale, send your hands all the way up high. Maybe let your fingertips touch at the top. Exhale, draw your hands down towards your heart and fold all the way down to this deep forward fold. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins and make a number 7 position. This is called a halfway lift. The crown of your head is reaching towards the front of the room. Your core is zipped up and engaged, and your shoulder blades come together and down your back. Exhale, forward fold, let it go. Inhale, slowly roll all the way up. Let your arms float up to the top with the top of your inhale. And exhale, draw your hands to heart center. We'll do that again, but add on this time. Inhale, everything goes up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Find that same number 7, flat back position. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands on the ground underneath your shoulders. Step your right foot back and step your left foot back. You're in high plank. Take a deep breath in And as you exhale, you don't send your elbows out to the sides. You send your elbows back towards the back of the room, lowering your chest all the way down to your mat. Untuck your toes. Inhale your chest and shoulders up. And exhale, your forehead goes back down. One more time. Inhale your chest and shoulders up. Exhale, forehead down. Inhale, chest and shoulders. Hold it here. Or maybe you lift your hands off the mat, or maybe you clasp those hands behind your back like we did at the beginning of class, sending that fist back towards your heels. Lift, 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 press your shoelaces into the ground, and exhale, forehead goes back down, hands plant underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes, press back to your hands and knees into a tabletop, and all the way up, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Inhale, look at your hands. Exhale, walk your feet all the way up to those hands again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll up to standing, arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to do that again a little bit more quickly with a few other options. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands. This time step your right foot back, followed by your left foot. Take a breath in. Breath out, lower, squeeze your elbows back, 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 all the way down to your belly. Inhale, just your chest and shoulders. Exhale, forehead back down. Tuck your toes. You can push back to your hands and knees, or straighten your legs, activate your knees, and press right up in one solid plank to a high plank. And exhale, wherever you're at, we all meet in downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale, look to the top of your mat. Exhale, walk your feet all the way up. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up. Your arms float up to the tippy top. Exhale, hands come down through to heart center. Now we're going to move into chair. When we come into chair, you put your toes together and your heels just the tiniest bit apart. Try that on. That's the traditional way to do chair. There are a couple other options, but we're going to try that one today. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Now as you inhale, squat really low, sweeping your middle fingers onto the ground. Lift your chest up and come like you're sitting in a chair. Now when we're in chair, you want to be able to look down and see your toes sticking out in front of your knees. You want to make sure your booty's not sticking out like this and it's not tucked under like this. It's nice and neutral, pointing right down at the earth. Arms are lifted, but not shoulders up around your ears. You have to relax your shoulders down your back. One more breath in. And breath out. Forward fold. Release it all. Let it go. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower your belly all the way to the ground. Inhale, chest and shoulders up. This is baby cobra. Exhale, forehead down. Tuck your toes. Press right up, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in here. And a breath out. We're going to change it up now. On an inhale, lift your right leg all the way up to the sky. This is three-legged dog. Your right foot is flexed. Pressing your heel all the way up towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw your knee into your nose in high plank. And option one, you step your foot in between your hands. Option two, you help your foot in between your hands. Either one's perfectly okay. You're pressing through the ball of your back foot, pressing through the heel of your front foot. Inhale, lift your chest up. High crescent. Really press through the ball of your back foot, like you're wearing a high heel. Breathe in and breathe out. One more breath in. And as you exhale, drop your chest halfway. So you're making a long 45-degree angle from your fingertips all the way to your back toes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Send your left hand to the ground inside of your front foot. Lift your right arm up to the sky. We're in this beautiful low twist. Breathe in. If you need more, you can gaze up at your thumb and breathe out. One more breath in. And now you're going to point all 10 toes at me. all 10 toes over to your right. And you're going to stay here. This is option number 1. Stay just like this. Option number 2, you pick up your right foot and you set it on top of your left foot, side plank. And you can stay with that foot supporting you if you need a little bit of support, or a side plank, or you can lift that top leg if you need more. Breath in, breath out, drop your right hand, find yourself in high plank, take a breath in, and breath out, push back, downward facing dog. Breathe in, and breathe out. Again, lift your right leg up to the sky, press through that heel, breath in, breath out, bring your knee to your nose, step your foot or help it through. This time, we're going to drop our back heel. So your left foot's at a 45-degree angle at the back of your mat. Inhale, lift your chest up. So the only difference here is that now our back foot is on the ground at a 45-degree angle instead of being lifted. This is crescent. This is warrior 1. So today, at this point, find warrior 1. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Drop those hands behind your back. Interlace those fingers. We've done this already today. Send your fist down towards the earth. Open up your chest. Send your gaze up towards the ceiling. If this doesn't feel good, you don't have to release your neck all the way. Just enough that it feels good. And exhale. Drop down. Bring your right shoulder inside of your right knee. Humble warrior. You can leave your single fist on your sacrum and rest your shoulder on your knee. Or you can release that fist all the way up and take your shoulder inside of your knee to go much further. You choose. Breathe in. And breathe out. Release your hands. Sweep them all the way back up. Warrior 1. Exhale. Plant your hands around your front foot. High on the ball of your back foot. Step back to high plank. Lower down to your belly. Inhale, chest and shoulders come up, baby cobra. Exhale, forehead back down. Tuck your toes. You either press the high plank or push back hands and knees, and your hips go up. Downward facing dog. Take a minute here to take a breath in and a breath out. Just another breath or two here, and we'll repeat the other side. So here in down dog, let your chest melt through your arms. This is a resting position in yoga, and when you first start, it might not feel like it, but this is where we find our moments of rest. All right, moving on to the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up towards the sky, three-legged dog. Flex your foot. Exhale, draw your knee to your nose. Help or step that foot in between your hands. Keep up high on the ball of your back foot this time. Inhale your arms up. We're in high crescent. Relax your shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out. Drop your chest down to a 45-degree angle just for a quick breath in. Breath out. Plant your right hand inside of your front foot. Send your left arm up to the ceiling, twisting open. Breathe in. Point all 10 toes over to the left. Stay right here just like this. Option number 1. Option number 2, your left foot stacks on top of your right. Breathe in, lift your hips. Maybe your left foot lifts. Exhale, plant your right hand back on the ground. Breathe in and breathe out. Press back, downward facing dog. Breath in and breath out. Again, lift your left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, draw your knee into your nose in high plank. Step or help your left foot through your hands. This time, drop your back heel down at a 45-degree angle. Set up your front leg so that your knee is stacked right over your ankle. Inhale up, warrior 1. Breathe in. Breathe out that same controlled breath. One more breath in. Breath out, drop your hands behind your back. Send that fist down towards the earth, opening up your chest, lifting your sternum towards the ceiling. Lifting your chin as much as it feels good. Breathe in. And breathe out, humble warrior. Left shoulder comes on top of left knee or inside of left knee.
Hands can stay on sacrum or lift up and over your head. The ancient Indian masters of India, this single fist will reach all the way over their head onto the floor. So that's your ultimate goal. I'm not even close. Take a breath in and breath out. Release your hands. Inhale back up to warrior one. Exhale, plant your hands on the earth. Come up high on the ball of your back foot. Step your front foot back. High plank. Lower down to your belly. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, forehead down. Tuck your toes, push up to high plank or press back to tabletop. And send your hips high. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Drop your knees down to the mat. Toes together, knees wide. Press back to child's pose. Just for a little break here. Slow down your breath if you find yourself speeding up as your heart rate goes up. Breathe in and breathe out. Come up to tabletop. Realign your knees. We'll do one cat-cow. So starting with cow, drop your belly, lift your tailbone, lift the crown of your head, breathe in. Breathe out, round your spine, tuck your chin, tuck your pelvis under. Breathe in, another one, cow. And round your spine, cat. Come up to standing at the top of your mat. Shake it out, get ready. This is our balancing portion of class. And I got a little challenge to throw at you, but you'll be fine and have fun. If it doesn't work today, that doesn't matter. You can try again later. You want to have your feet hip distance apart, planted right underneath your hips, and come to standing at the top of your mat. We're going to come into maybe one of the most quintessential yoga poses, and that's tree. So for tree, you have several options. Your foot can be here on your ankle with your toes providing a little kickstand support. Here on your calf. Your knee is pointing out to the side. It doesn't have to be straight to the side, just whatever natural, comfortable angle it lands at. The only no-no is you can't have your foot right on top of your knee. It's not good for your knee joint. You can be up on your thigh like this. If you're extra bendy and extra flexible, you can also be in half lotus with your foot tucked up into your hip crease, your knee pointing down at the earth. So choose your favorite. Anyone. You can try something different every time. Arm options, you can have hands at heart. You can have hands out alongside you. Reverse prayer, if you can get your hands all the way to a reverse prayer, up and overhead, or you can wave your tree branches in the breeze. So choose a tree, and if you need an extra challenge, close your eyes. It immediately makes things much more difficult to close your eyes for this one. Take a breath in, and a breath out. Draw your knee into your chest, and grab onto the front of your knee. Lean forward, send that knee back behind you, reaching back. We're moving into warrior three. This is a big capital letter T. Flex your back foot, point those toes down to the ground. Your hands can be at heart center or airplane, or biceps up over your ears, which is the full expression of the pose. Take a breath in, breath out. Inhale, start to stand up. Don't let your foot drop. Bring your knee with you. Reach down, grab the bottom of your foot, and we're going to pistol squat. So see if you can lower your bum all the way to the earth without letting this foot drop. Lower, 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 lower. And if it didn't work, it's fine, and you can try again later. Keep this knee bent, and let that leg extend out in front of you. Pick up your bent leg, cross it over, send your arms up nice and high, twist over opposite that knee and take your left elbow, hook it on that knee, and gaze over to your right. Your right fingertips are back behind you. Breathe in and breathe out. And breathe in and out. Inhale yourself back up to center. Unwind those legs, send them both out in front of you, give them a shake. Maybe you reach down, grab your knees, your calves, if you can reach your toes.
Lifting your chest, opening across those collarbones. You don't want to hunch over. So if you need to back your hands up so you can lift your chest and open across your chest, do that. Breath in and breath out. And bring those knees in, shake them out, and we'll switch to the other side. Last time we were balancing on our left leg, on our right leg, with our left knee up in the air, so we'll do the opposite this time. Switch your weight into your left leg, my right leg, pick up your right leg, and choose your variation of tree. Any of these variations are an option. This is my favorite, which means I should probably try something different. So if you're feeling perfectly stable and still and you have no trouble, that's your body's way of telling you it's time to challenge yourself. Push yourself a little further. Take a breath in and a breath out. Inhale your arms up. Bring your knee back to a 45. And start to send that right leg back behind you into your capital letter T. Flex your back foot, toes pointing down at the earth. Remember, hands can be at heart. Hands can be at airplane. Hands can even be on the floor if that's just what feels better today. Breathe in and breathe out. Lift yourself up, come to standing. Don't let that leg drop. Reach down, grab the bottom of your right foot. And we're going to slowly lower down to the earth. And can you keep that heel off the ground, coming all the way down with your foot lifted. Set that straight leg down on the ground. Pick up your left leg, cross it over, arms up. And exhale, twist over to your left. Take your right arm, hook that elbow. Breathe in. And breathe out. You can gaze over your back shoulder, looking at the back of the room. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale back to center. Send both legs out in front of you. Shake them out. Take a breath in. Lift yourself nice and high. Crown of your head is lifting, lifting, lifting before you fold. Again, keeping your chest open and lifted. We're not after this to try and make the, if you have to back off on your fold, keep your chest open. Breath in. And you can start to fold a little deeper. Breathe in. And breathe out. Slowly roll all the way up. Spin yourself so that your feet are facing towards the front of the room. Yours probably already are. And gently roll all the way down onto your back. Plant your feet on the mat right next to your behind with your knees pointed up at the ceiling. We have one moment of back bends here. So if you have full wheel in your practice, which sometimes we call bridge gymnastics, or it's a schoolyard back bend, sometimes I'll call it, you can move into that, in which case take your hands, slip them around next to your ears, and press up into a schoolyard back bend. If that's not your style today, here's option number 2. Feet are planted next to your bum, hands are alongside the side of your body. Breathe in, press up, lift your hips high. You can stay just like this, or you can clasp your hands behind your back. We're revisiting that again today. And tuck your shoulders underneath to press even a little bit higher. Wherever you're at, breathe in, lift your hips higher, and breathe out. Last breath in. Release your hands if they're clasped. Come onto your tippy toes. Slowly lower down your back, gently, 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 all the way down. Bring your knees into your chest. Give them a gentle hug. Send the soles of your feet up to the ceiling like you're going to step on the ceiling. And grab your outside of your feet, or of your big toes, or the backs of your knees. And let your knees fall down towards your armpits. This happy baby. Maybe sway back and forth a little bit. This opens up your hips. You can straighten one leg, straighten the other leg. Last posture of the day is Apanasana. Draw your knees into your chest. Wrap your arms in front of your shins. This pose is said to release stress, toxic energy, just all the bad juju in your body. So, as you lay here, as you breathe in, and now as you breathe out, imagine all of that garbage that's pent up within you just flowing out of your body, flowing away from you into the ground. Breathe in. And breathe out, all of it's just leaving. Last breath in. And exhale, set up in Shavasana. Shavasana is our last pose of the day. This is corpse pose or dead man's pose. Your legs are
gently out in front of you, a little space between them, arms alongside your body, not touching your body, palms facing up. This is a traditional Shavasana, but you can choose anything that makes you feel comfortable. I'm going to be quiet for just 1 minute here to let your body absorb everything that you just did. Start to wake up your body. Maybe wiggle your toes, maybe wiggle your eyebrows. Start to press yourself up to seated. Keep your eyes closed if that feels okay. Find that same cross-legged position that we started class in, bringing your hands down to your knees. Inhale and feel the crown of your head reaching up towards the ceiling. And exhale as your belly button draws down towards your spine. Take your right hand and place it on top of your heart. And take your left hand and place it on top of your right. We'll take one more collective inhale together. And exhale. And my spirit honors and sees each one of your unique and beautiful spirits. Thank you for practicing with me tonight. Namaste.